All right, good morning. What's going on today with Recon 1? After I installed my camber correction shims, I took the Jeep for a drive, and sadly the vehicle was pulling to the right. And here's the reason why. I got all kinds of resistance right here. The early phases of a caliper not releasing. Very difficult to turn this. If I was to lift up the driver's side and do a comparison, it was easy as can be. So I'm going to take this tire off, remove the caliper, undo the banjo bolt, and then I'll have the caliper with me, and then I'll be purchasing a new caliper and turning in the bad caliper for the core charge. So that's what's going on. All right. Same old here. You can see my rotors are in good shape. I'll be undoing the 21 millimeter head adaptive bracket bolts. Take the whole thing off as a whole. I'll probably cut a tie wrap on this brake line. Undo this banjo bolt, get a baggie here and a tie wrap, and elevate this to keep as much fluid from not leaking all over the ground. And then we'll just disassemble this caliper. Should be no problem whatsoever. Okay, I got some rags underneath the banjo bolt. It's 15 millimeter on the JK. I'll loosen this up, pull it off. Obviously, track down the two brass washers, one on each side. Save the bolt, of course. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna get with the new caliper. And we'll get this thing wrapped up in a plastic bag, tied up tight, elevated, and put out of the way, and then we'll remove the caliper. Okay, brake line extended up, got a couple baggies on it, banjo bolt, brass washers, etc. The caliper, as you would expect, the piston here drained down onto the garage floor. I had some rags to catch it. And now I can take a screwdriver very easily. I should be able to easily pry that piston back, make a little room so that I can just undo the adapter bracket bolts, pull the caliper off with the adapter. Last time I had a caliper go, they wanted the adapter bracket as well, so we will, I'll take the pins out right here, the slides. I'll take the pads out and just get this in the go position. Looks to me, I looked online, AutoZone, a couple other places, about $90 for a Duralast or some other brands. And that's with a $40 core charge to return the bad caliper. There you go, got some wiggle room in there now. A little more brake fluid came out, perfect. All right, we'll get busy here. Now keep in mind, you can see the, don't forget, I got the camber correction shim, so there's 2.5 degrees of correction on this passenger side. So I'll very carefully take those shims out, no big deal, and put them aside for the install of the new caliper when I get it. There you go, you can see 1, and 0.5. I'll just set these aside. Probably just take a lug nut, secure that rotor back on the unit bearing. And that's about it. 5-minute job. Take off the pads. The fronts look pretty damn good. Salvage what I can. And then this thing will go to AutoZone most likely, so I can get the core charge and get a new front caliper for my 2015 Rubicon. Okay, here it is. I think I got to turn all this in. So we'll get this in the other Jeep and get it ready for a ride to a parts store. Come back with a brand new caliper, get it all installed, wait for the wifey to get home, and at some point bleed the brakes. That's it. All right, nice new caliper from AutoZone. I think it was a Duralast. looks good. New banjo bolt, brass washers, no problem. Not going to install it today. It's for another day, but we're in the go position here on Recon One. How much did it cost? $89 with a $45 core charge on the old one. So I took it off, as you know, brought it in so I had it with me, and just paid the $89 for this caliper. Limited lifetime warranty. AutoZone tells me if it fails anytime while I have the vehicle, bring it back and they'll replace it free. Okay. I separated the adapter bracket. It'll just be easier. It's nice. You can see the guides in there. You can see the orientation. See how one lip is high. That goes towards the inside, and you can see the low section there. How that goes. You want to make sure you put them on right with the big clips, the thumb clips, I guess we'll call them, on the outside so you can access them. Yeah. So some different sizes on this. Basically, this is like the actual bolts that go into the adapter have a 1/2-inch head. And believe it or not, the 13 mil does not fit on it. I had to use the 1/2-inch. And then 17 mil on that nut right there. So I checked these guides, or pins if you want to call them, slides. They're greased well. So I bought some brake grease, and I'm going to grease these clips right here and get this thing all set. Throw it on. See the brake grease on there? I ended up picking up this. It's pretty good quality. It must be. It was $20 for this small bottle, but I'm constantly changing brakes, so thought it was time to get something a little better. As I said, you can see the pads sitting right here. They were fine. I got some brake cleaner. So yeah, so now I want to take these shims, orientate these properly, and get those adapter bracket bolts in. Easy peasy. Unfortunately, look at that mess. This thing popped out and it drained a lot of brake fluid into the bag, so obviously, I'm going to have to put more in when the time comes to bleed the brakes. All right, I'll get the torque wrench, but you can see the adapter bolts in. You can see the camber correction shims, and there's a good look at them up towards the top. So I just used the 21 mil, tighten these up. We're going to torque them to 125 foot-pounds. All right. The inside pad is installed. You can see the squealer up towards the top. Again, this is the front passenger, so now we'll get the outer pad installed. Okay, quite nice. Pads in, piece of cake. Gooped up with the brake grease. Now I'll go get that new caliper and set that all up. And the last thing I'll do will be to deal with this freaking mess and put the new banjo bolt in with the brass washers and make that connection. Then I'll be in the go position to top off the master cylinder and start the bleeding of the brake process. So okay, the caliper came with nice brand new banjo bolt. Carefully take that out, and you can see that it has a couple of brass washers there that get compressed and make a nice seal. So you can see how it has a horizontal hole that takes the fluid, then transfers it through the center. So you have the horizontal hole right there, takes the brake fluid, brings it down into the center. The brass washers are compressed. They make a great seal, and through the great power of hydraulics, compresses that piston. So anyway, we'll leave that right there. I'll put a little brake grease on these two stationary fingers, some on the surface of the piston, and we'll line that up and get that installed to the adapter bracket. Right, believe it or not, the actual guide bolts, these things here, they only get, I just go good hand tight. There's nothing crazy. I think if you looked up the spec, it's like 17 to 23 foot-pounds. So we'll just tighten those up by hand. You can see right here, this has a rubber boot. This is the bleeder valve. And then obviously right down here by my finger, that's where our banjo bolt will go in once I work on this mess right here. All right, you can see, if you look carefully there, you can see each brass washer. Now, unfortunately, I went from, I think, 15 mil on the other one. This is this is an oddball. So the new banjo bolt head on the new caliper is 11 millimeter, which is kind of annoying because I like all my stuff to be the same size if I have an issue. So gotta line this thing up and tighten this down. Okay, this is about as far as I can go until wifey gets home. You can see I got a hose attached to the bleeder. Once again, it's 11 mil. It matches the head of the banjo bolt, no problem. That all looks really nice there. Everything is cinched in there tight. I'll get something to catch it. Obviously, I don't have a one of those little vacuum self one man only bleeder systems, but no big deal. The wife has helped me out with this before, shouldn't be a problem. I added a little brake fluid already because the master cylinder was very low from this thing leaking all night, all over the floor, of course. But yeah, one more process, test these brakes out. Hopefully there'll be a big improvement, get this tire on, get this thing up and running and take it for another ride, and she should not be pulling to the right anymore. All right, I just had my wife work that brake pedal. Took me quite a bit to get this cylinder, this piston filled up and then get a good stream. So hopefully we're okay. I mean, took quite a bit of fluid, but I lost a lot of fluid. So I'm gonna put this tire back on. I don't know if I'm gonna get to test drive it today. I'm running out of time, but if I need to go through the process again, I will. But more importantly, I wanna get this tire on it and see how it spins. All right, Recon 1 out of the barn. See how she goes. I hope it's a good ride. I mean, she was pulling to the right. Hopefully that's not the case. We'll find out shortly. Stand by. Okay, not bad. Definitely an improvement. One hand on the wheel, 40 miles an hour. Things seem pretty good. So I'll say there's a good improvement. It's not perfect, but it's a Jeep, man, on 37s with knobby tires, and the tires got some wear on them. But I know I used the toe plates. The toe was dialed in. Used the machine on the alignment. Put the proper number of degrees for my correction for my camber. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, I'm gonna put 100 miles on this Jeep right now, so we'll know for sure after that. Vibrations. I gotta say, there is a hell of an improvement in the drive on this Jeep, man. Feeling pretty good about it.